Good morning, guys and everybody. So Wednesday morning, it's about 7 o'clock. I'm going to pick up the Punisher. That is our dump truck. The guys are already on the way. They're gassing up and they're heading to the property. I've got to go grab about 150 Jack Frost Ligustrums and some straw. We got to spruce up an entranceway at one of our properties. And then we're just going to do a bunch of detail work at this particular property today. We're not going to be mowing it. If anything, we'll be spot mowing it. And then we're just going to work on a bunch of detail stuff. So let's go get the truck and get rolling. What's up? This is Waller with Beach River Landscapes. Just wanted to bring you guys a video and let you check out our dump truck. We're really excited to be able to acquire this thing. Really wanted it for such a long time. Ended up sharing it with a friend who actually got it basically for the both of us to share it. Then in the end, we both just started growing to the point to where it just kind of wasn't feasible for us to share it anymore, so we worked a deal out. We bought the truck, and then we kind of went to town hooking everything up. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright guys, so we have a 2000 ISUZU NQR. For ISUZU, this is considered to be a class 5. It's got an 18-foot capacity bed. It's got an 18-foot dump bed by 5 feet because we have the 2x12s on the top up there. It's got the 5.2 inline 4-cylinder turbo diesel on it. I'm a diesel head, so I love diesels on anything that's really big. So I mean, a gas would have been fine, you know, gas motor would have been fine, but I'm glad that it's a diesel. That's really what I prefer on heavy vehicles like this. So what we ended up doing is we ended up painting the cab. We painted it a Chevy smoke gray because I like Chevy. So we ended up painting it a Chevy smoke gray, which worked out killer. Because, you know, everything that we have is, you know, gray and silver, you know, what have you. So and we just left the bed black. So we were going to paint the bed, but we just ended up just not doing that. So the work that we put into it was new mirrors all the way around it. Like I said, painted it, just fixed a whole bunch of dents in it, replaced the bumper on it, and then we ended up getting some green touch racks for this thing. So we also, some of you guys formerly know this thing as the Black Pearl, but we have changed the name. Once we ended up painting it with the gray and with the black, that name no longer suited this beast. So we asked you guys to come up with some name ideas, and you came up with a lot of good ones. Leah ended up winning though. We ended up calling it the Punisher. So we ended up adding some Punisher logos right here, and we have some on the back also. We were going to go as far as, let me flip this out. We were going to go as far as doing a custom tag that said Punisher, but we figured that was a little too far. So we slapped some on the back here, and we slapped one on each side over there. So let's get back to this. So we got, like I said, new mirrors all the way around, new paint. Obviously we slapped the logos on it. He ran out of Jaguar teal, so we still have to do a big half dahlia across the front end of this thing right here. So put some new lights in it. And then what we ended up doing, because it didn't have one before, is we put a tree skirt on here, or a canopy, whatever, a skirt. So right now we had somebody weld a plate right here, so we can climb up on this, and you can just stand there, and it's pretty easy. And then we just get up there and we unlatch it. Right now it's on some 1 1/4 inch PVC, but you see where it elbows, and then I got these hooks up there. We're going to end up extending that out a couple inches, and then we're going to run some PVC down. That way we can kind of grab it from right here. We'll have a spot where it locks in. We can pick it up, one person on each side, and we can just pick it up and walk it. And then, you know, the same thing. So obviously it's not an electric, it's not a motorized canopy. And I mean, it just wasn't worth the money. Those things are like $1,600 and they break, and it's just more crap that breaks. So we ended up just doing the manual one. It's just much more affordable. I mean, we dump brand new tires in this thing. We've just got so much into it already that it's not like we stop short. It just, the person, you know, the trailer company agreed that, you know, it's just not worth the money because they do break. So all it takes is this thing being motorized, somebody not paying attention, you know what I'm saying, and then boom, there goes your $1,600 electric, you know, skirt. So show you guys over here, we have a Green Touch 2-position rack, and we have a 5-gallon Sure can with a Sure cage. Now this is going to work out killer. I don't do the 5 gallons in our trailers just because I don't want the weight on the walls. You know, 5 gallons of gas can get kind of heavy. So on here it's fine because it's just all bolted, you know, through these steel walls. So that'll work out killer. You know, having the equipment here, take it off, we can gas it up right here. This thing never even has to come out of the rack. We run the Husqvarna 525 on here, and then we run the Echo 2620 curved shaft edger on here, and this works out killer. And we can actually dump the bed, and we can leave all of that in place. We'll come around the back. We have a blower rack on the right door that swings open first, and that's a 580 BTS Husqvarna that we put in there. And we I was gonna put it on the side, but I just didn't want it popping out so far. It popped out just a little too far. And just in case, you guys are probably gonna end up asking, yes, we're fine as far as width goes because the racks barely pop out past the side mirrors. And this bed is a 7-foot bed, so with the racks and everything, we're barely over 8 feet wide. And there are so many more vehicles on the road here that are beyond that. We just don't ever get you know, tagged for anything. I know a lot of guys in the Midwest, you guys have, you know, it's really strict up north and in the Midwest, and it's just not like that down here in Jacksonville and in Florida in particular. So, like, anyways, let's get back to it. So we have the pin right here. And that with the door swings open, and we have a chain for it right there. And then what we do is whenever this door swings open, it'll swing open over here, and I still have to have this chain welded because this pin is where it's at, and with the blower rack on there, it won't meet up with the pin. But the thing is that pin barely jumps in the hole anyway, so I was going to weld a chain on it regardless. So I just have this hanging on here for now until I get a chance to have it welded. We're also going to have some ladder racks welded that fold out and pop down. That way it's easy for us to climb up in the truck. Also, we got somebody working on, you know, those U-Haul trucks. You know, the U-Haul trucks have the big aluminum ramps. So this spot right there, we're going to have a big aluminum ramp that comes out and drops down. That way we can walk. That way we can walk up and down the you know, the bed, and it'll be much easier. So it's a pretty easy process. So if we're about to dump or we're about to work in here, all I do is just undo that. And this is if the blower is on here, okay? It's just spring loaded. Just pull this down, and it's just that easy. Let me show you guys the bed of the truck. So as you guys can see, we have an 18-foot dump, which is just massive. I think it's like the largest in its class, so I could be wrong. But anyways, it's an 18-foot dump bed, and we have 5-foot walls on this thing. So we can we have fit 20 yards of mulch, probably just over 20 yards of mulch in here. I mean, you can imagine how much stuff that we can fit in here. Eventually, I want a wall that separates the middle right here that actually folds down and goes back up. That's going to be heavy, man. But I would like to be able to dump like dirt and then have mulch on the other side of the wall. That way we can lift it up and we're really not losing any mulch, and we're able to dump the dirt. If that doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but that's kind of like on the it's kind of like on the wish list. So just gonna try to get somebody that's tricky and crafty when it comes to welding stuff. So but anyways, this is the bed. This thing rocks. This thing is just awesome stuff. Let's close this up. I'll take this ladder. I'll raise this bed in a few minutes. You'll probably hear noise because the ladder's probably gonna slide around, but yeah, this is how easy this is. We just do this. Just do it with one hand there, obviously, because I'm recording, and we can just drop a pin in here, and here we go. Now, I was going to put actually I did. I had a chainsaw rack. You can actually see where the dust is still fresh from drilling it in there. But it was just, it was too much. It just kind of, it made it harder to worry about driving down the road, having stuff sticking out this side too. It just felt too heavy, so I took it off. We're gonna do a lot of work underneath here. I wanna make a system like over here that'll hold like a wheelbarrow, maybe one on each side. I got somebody kind of working on fabbing that. So we're gonna end up having ladder rack that folds out, one on each side, something that allows us to hold wheelbarrows under there. And then, like I said, this ramp that's gonna slide out about 16 feet and drop down and allow us to go up. I mean, but we can only do so much. And then on the passenger side, I have all of the rakes. Let me swing this around, make you dizzy. So we have a large tool rack, and then we have a small tool rack, and then I mean, I've gone up to 70 and it doesn't budge. And I mean, if anything's gonna fly up, it's gonna end up being the rakes. I'm gonna work on something that, I mean, they don't go anywhere, you know what I mean? So it's not like we're doing 100 miles an hour in this truck down the street. But I'm gonna end up working on something that comes off the wall, that's got individual tubes on it. That way it can slide, that way it like lines up, something that lines up with the tool rack. So when you put each one in there, it's kind of in its own tube. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this. We'll lift it up here in a second. But let me give you guys let me back up and give you a full little deal here. So sorry for my camera work today. So here we go. Yeah, and everything that's on here, you can raise, as you'll see in just a second, you can raise everything up. Obviously the doors, when we're dumping, will normally be swung around and locked. So whenever the bed's going up, obviously the blower won't be facing the back. I actually dumped it the other day with the blower on it, and it was wrapped around, it was locked, everything was good to go. So let me go ahead, and I'll probably try and fast forward this, but let me set this up and show you how high the bed dumps and bring it back down. Alright guys, so as you can see, this thing has a pretty good lift on it. This is a 7 to 10 ton dump capacity. We have had about, let me see, what's the heaviest load we had was about 13,000 pounds that we dumped in this. And we didn't really hear any creaking, you know, or that like, no, it's the last, I can't do it anymore. So I'm not super familiar with the pump on this yet. I did call the manufacturer, and the pump was apparently, I read the serial number, and the pump's only about 5 years old, which is awesome. So I think that we're good to go on this pump for a very long time. But like I said, you know, anywhere from 7 to 10 tons is the dump capacity on this thing. And again, as you saw, whenever it lifts up, nothing moves. Everything stays in its spot. You know, the sure can is perfect for there. Nothing's going to leak out of it, you know, when it lifts up. You know, again, the blower rack is perfect back there. And when the door is swung over, whenever the door is swung open and it's latched, it's the same thing. It's just not going anywhere. So let's see, what else can I show you guys? This right here, this little ladder, kind of makeshift little ladder, we're gonna have to improve that one too. But like I said, that plate right there works out killer. Had that temporary, well, not temporarily, but I had that quickly welded on there. That way we kind of have more of a plate to stand on. And so yeah, it's working out pretty good. We're actually going to be using it today, so I got to get rolling. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any questions on this beast, let us know. Thank you guys for watching the channel. I know I never say it. I'm supposed to start saying it. You know, like it, subscribe to it, share it. If there's anything you want to see that we don't do, or more of something we do, let us know. We do get really slammed, man. Like I want to get way more footage than I do, but we just get slammed like nonstop. I'll take the camera out so many times, and I want to, you know, film the guys and film us doing stuff, and we just end up getting really slammed. So I just thought I'd take a rare moment when the sun's rising to do this video real quick. And let me show you guys where we're at. Actually, this is, you know, we live down the street. Well, we're in a really historic, you know, area. So it's a national park. This is the Ribault Monument. I'm gonna show you guys this for anybody that really likes history. I mean, where we're at, we're on some of the first settled land in America, and that's where we live. So this right here talks about the French explorer claimed this area for France when he erected a column on the bank of the St. Johns River. You know, there was a bunch of Indians obviously everywhere, but this is like a big spot where there's still places where Indians colonized right here when, you know, the French and all this other craziness was going on here. There's still like remnants and all that stuff, and this is really cool. It's just a really neat place. And you guys know that Florida is really flat. So let me take you up here real quick. I brought the kids up here. There's some really cool views up here, and it's one of the highest points in Florida, which is funny, you know, speaking to guys from mountains. But look at this view though, man. Look at this. Look how nice this is. You can't really get the depth of how, you know, we're probably, I don't know, we're probably about 60 feet up, maybe 50, 60 feet up, which is really big for, you know, for Florida, especially Jacksonville. But yeah, the ocean is that way. And this is all, you know, part of the St. Johns River, and all that stuff. So this is part of what's called the Timuquana Preserve. And yeah, just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit about where we do it in Florida. It's all right, guys. Anyways, make that money, stay original. All right, guys, so we're at Williams Nursery. We're gonna grab 100 of these Jack Frost Ligustrums right there, load them up in the truck, and get back to the site and get this done. Yeah. All right, so that's one way to utilize a dump truck. That's the way I utilize it. Any opportunity we have where we can pull underneath something, whether we're pole saw, chainsawing, or using the hedge trimmers, you know, to just drop it right in there just to make it easier, we'll do that. So we do that kind of all over the property. We'll stop, put the truck up underneath it, and we'll just drop everything right there and keep going. So that works. All right, so today we worked on punching down, I don't know, about 150 hairy eye ligustrums. So we got some ligustrums put down. We need some more. They were out. Of course, the auger broke. I know it's so loud out here. The guys are blowing across the street on phase 2. When they're done, they're coming over here to phase 1. Well, let me show you guys what's going on with this auger. It just, it seems like it lost all compression. I don't even have to, all right, watch this. See that? No compression. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it did that. I'm more of a car mechanic than I am a small engine mechanic. So I got to figure out why it did that. I actually went to go buy another one, you know, just so the guys don't have to dig all day. I went to 2 Lowe's, 2 Home Depots, and a Northern Tool, and nobody had an auger in stock. That sucks. But anyways, here's what we got. We're popping them over there, all the way around. So we're going around here, right in there. Yeah, I wish that they had all of them so we could have finished everything up today. They did not. So we ordered them. They'll be here at the end of the week. But yeah, it looks good though, man. It looks nice.
Already got that side done.
Guys are across the street blowing. It's what we call a really good, productive day today. This is all made possible by strong backs. Yeah. That's Daniel. Daniel's new to the crew. Awesome guy. You guys have seen Ari. You guys know whenever I hit on like hiring new guys that have no experience whatsoever, but if they're willing to be here every day, then I'm willing to give them a chance. So that contender is Ross over there in the white shirt. So Ross over there has never picked up a stick in his life, never used a blower. We've had him on the edger. He's been doing a really good job. He's learning. You know, it takes a minute. This is, after all, a skilled trade to make it look like you know what you're doing. So he's doing really good though. He's about 2 weeks on the job. And he's getting it. You know, he's getting pretty good with crossing over, doing beds and all that with the edger. So he's getting it. I think he's doing a good job. You know, when it comes to things like that, you can't get frustrated when guys are learning. You just have to make sure that you do your part in making them part of the team. You have to do your part in making sure that they know that, you know, we're all here together, you know, to get this job done. And that's what matters. So tomorrow, well, the guys today, they're gonna empty out the trailer and the truck. They're gonna clean it all out. They're gonna drop off the Hustler. The Hustler's still kicking, man. Let me see how many hours are on this.
How many hours we got?
Woo! We got near 1,100 hours on this Hustler. And it's still doing a really good job. There's no signs of engine issues. We did have a couple things like the hydros that popped out. We had a couple little things that happened, but for 1,100 hours, this mower's still kicking butt. What you looking for, Ari?
Water.
Ari's trying to find his agua.
Oh, Ari, you gotta go get another one, my bad. Hey, you can take the mower.
Take the mower, Ari. So.
Hey man, you know he's a camel.
I see, man.
Yeah, he's a camel. Like, that's racist.
Well, we're Arabs, so we can say that.
And he's off.
Anyway, these guys are awesome. Yeah, we're Arabic, Irish, Italian, and Indian, but you know, I like a good mixture of guys that work here. You know, we've let a couple of guys go because of racist comments, things like that. A lot of you that have been watching us for a while know that, you know, we had one of our main guys that decided to call me a really fun word one day, and he quit working here. You know, it's hard to hold a grudge against anybody, for me, period, but especially when you're out here on this job and you have so much work to do, and we depend on each other to get this stuff done. I mean, there's no room for hatred in this company. There's no room for hatred of any sort working here, and that's something I'm very, very, very clear about. I will fire the baddest dude on the planet if he's got an issue that revolves around race on the workplace. You can do what you want on your own time, and you can be whoever you want when you're on your own, but when you're here, we don't play that. We don't play that at all. We're here. This job is hard enough as it is, like I always say. We invest in this business. We invest in our people to make the job as easy as it can be. It's work smarter, not harder, but we already work hard, so we try to add the smart into it. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take off and wrap this day up. I really didn't get that much content because I was kind of just busy. And then I ran around for 2 freaking hours trying to find an auger. That didn't work. Again, man, this right here, we're gonna have to give MVP to the Punisher, probably for a while, because this thing just makes all of this possible. I mean, it just makes all this landscaping, all of this cleanup, just a ton easier, a ton more convenient. I mean, we're able to pick up 150 plants and 40 bales of straw and throw it in the back of this thing and still have room, plenty of room on the floor, you know, to just add more things to it. So we empty everything out, then I go around lifting up trees, taking tons of debris. We just get to throw it back there. This truck has probably, I mean, there's so much room before it's full. When it's full, we just take it to a dump and then we just keep going. But what we are gonna do is start taking this truck on all of our big properties like these, pretty much weekly, as much as we can. Unless it's being used for a project, the dump truck, the Punisher, will be on the job sites as a second vehicle every week on every single property. And that'll kind of set us apart, being able to take care of a lot of things on site, you know, as much as possible. So, all right guys, we're gonna wrap this up.
Doesn't give you power, try and make me feel like a coward. Your kind is